Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Dana Neal with the Real Reality Radio Show with Dana Neal. So excited to be with you again on this week. So sorry that we are a little late, but that is what happens when you're trying to make it perfect and right. So we're here. We're here. We want you to know that every week we will be here at the same time with the Real Reality Show with Dana Neal. Today we're talking about what will change do for you. And change is a whole lot more than just changing your pocket, change of location, change of situation, change of job, change of business. Change is really the change that we're going to talk about today is really the immense change that is going to help you to build on your life no matter where you think you are right now and where you're going in the next, let's say in the next year or so, or the next month, or the next day, wherever you are right now. Change for you is going to have to be exponential. So if you're listening in and you're in the chat room or you want to be included in the conversation, let me know. We want to know what change will do for you, and we're going to basically pay some bills with the Bad Billionaires Club. Bad Billionaires Club, it is the club for you. We offer more in networking, understanding, building, encouraging, and taking you further in what God has planned for you than any other networking group around the nation. Blessed, anointed, and destined. It's not about numbers. It is about what God called you to do. It's not about clicks. It's about what God called you to do. It's not about money. It's about what God called you to do. You are blessed and anointed and destined. Blessed, anointed, and destined. Billionaires Club, bad, that's who we are. Go over to the website, badbillionaires.com. Register today. Subscribe today. Look at what we have going on for the rest of the year. We have the Millionaires Breakfast as well as the Denim and Diamonds Women's Business Conference. Are you going to be ready for the Millionaires Retreat? You'll never know until you're a bad billionaire. God bless, because you are bad. Yes, you are. BadBillionairesClub.com. Join us. BadBillionaires.com. Sorry, I said Bad Billionaires Club. It's the bad club. It's the baddest club. It's the club for you. We have networking events. We have the Denim and Diamonds Impact Summit, which is happening in April. We also have increase on the free events as a club member. So please join us at the Bad Billionaires Club at badbillionaires.com. And it's $14.95 per month. We have exceptional discounts for those that want to pay for a year in advance. Please contact us at info@badbillionaires.com. So again, I am Dana Neal. We're here at the Real Reality Radio Show with Dana Neal, and we're talking about what will change do for you. When I think about change, I have to think about my spiritual man as well as my natural, who I am in the flesh, or who people see me as. I can't say who I am in the flesh, because I know that as a woman of God, as someone who is full-time ministry, part-time business person, I know that the Holy Spirit leads me. So when I think about who I am spiritually, I have to say, or who I need to be, or where I need to be spiritually, I have to say that what I want to do, what I desire to do, and where I desire to go is part of the spiritual change on the inside of me. I know my end result is supposed to be heaven. So I know that in that end result, I have to really allow my lifestyle to explain who I am. Not for me to continue to explain who I am, but for my lifestyle and what I'm living. There comes a time as a woman of God, as a ministry leader, as a business person, that I have to realize in all aspects of life, that God is my CEO, that Jesus leads me, okay? So when I think about who I am spiritually and who I am as people see me, I have to say to myself that these two worlds, quote unquote, will collide. That these two worlds come together in a certain, as you look at your hands and you fold your hands together, they come together, and they come together comfortably. If I were to live a life of following the devil and trying to bring that in with a spiritual nature or a righteous nature, that's not going to come together. That's going to not fold together. That's not going to be comfortable. It's not going to work out. It's just not. So those two can't become one, okay? When you think about marriage, you think about how the word says that two people that are unequally yoked can't come together. Those things, if they're unequally yoked, that means they can't yoke together. When you see an egg and you crack an egg, I don't know if some people know this, unless you mix that egg up, you beat it to death, that yolk really doesn't combine together. So I know you're asking yourself, what does that have to do about change? Well, change is when you change for the better. The things in your life that you are forgiven for, that you don't do any longer, those bad things, they don't come in and be a part of the change. Those are things you've learned from, but they don't come in and are part of the change. People that were in your life that are no longer in your life, they can't be part of the change. Again, this is not just talking about changing job or changing a career aspect, change in location, or change in clothing even. This is about change, a full change that will affect and be illuminated in your life, whether you're an African American, whether you're an Indian, whether you're a boy, whether you're a girl, whether you're a man or a woman. The change and what it will do for you is the aspect of how you see it. What is your perception of this change? For me, when I realized in 2004, 2005 that I needed to really walk fully in my spirituality, it was a process. It was a very long process to take, and it was shocking for some, because it's almost like throwing cold water on somebody who isn't expecting you to throw cold water on them. But I knew that the change for me would put me in a position to be headed to heaven. Now, in all of those years, because you're talking 2004 to 2005, almost 10 years or almost 10 years, you're talking about how a difference in life, okay, a difference in always going out, always drinking. You're talking about a shock to the system, and what that shock to the system is going to do and how that can be applied. One thing I knew then was if I wanted to end up in heaven, what I had to do. No, in 2004 and 2005, it was not my first introduction to the Lord. I knew the Lord. I didn't have a relationship, a one-on-one relationship with the Lord, but I knew the Lord. But that change at that point, that decision I had to make, brought me to different processes or steps in my life. And I'll just say that was 2004, because I know in February of 2005 I decided to stop drinking. And when I decided to stop drinking, it wasn't because I was an alcoholic. It wasn't because I had to have a drink every day. It was because when I had a taste for something, I went out and I bought it. If I was at the bar, I had a drink or two or three or four. In February of 2005, I decided that I was not going to do this, and it took some steps, because I stopped drinking hard liquor, and I said, well, I'll have a beer or I'll have a wine cooler. And then it got to the point where I had to say, I'm done with all of it. And if people that are paying you attention realize that you're not drinking, they realize that there's a change in you. This was something that happened. This was something that happened to me and for me in March of that same year, where I was at an event, and it was a sombering event. But anyway, people who didn't see me on a day-to-day basis realized that I no longer drank, and it was funny to them, but it was okay with them. and they were proud of me for just saying, okay, well, hey, if that's what you want to do, we're proud of you for that. But the people that saw me every day did not see that change. And this is a small change, but it still was a change. And then as things progressed and went on further, I realized that it was a welcome change for not only myself socially, but a welcome change for me spiritually. And then I started to see how my life was starting to come together like a folded hand. So you have to consider in your own life, what will change do for you? When the bad things that you have to give up start to drizzle away or just kind of fall away, then you realize that you can live a life for the Lord and have your life be directed and go forth. At that time in my life, I didn't know if I was going to die the next day, if I was going to be in a car accident that would take my life. I remember saying to people a lot of times that I know that I'm not going to die before all of my children get to be 18 years of age, because my life had to be representative of taking care of them until the last one could not depend on me or would not depend on me. So now that I'm getting close to that, I am literally getting close to that. In 2015, my youngest child will be turning 18 years of age. So am I afraid that the Lord will decide to take me from this life? No. What I am afraid of at this point is not accomplishing all that He intends for me to accomplish. That is, ladies and gentlemen, another piece of change. That is another piece of change. I said all those years, God's not going to let me die. He's not going to let anything happen to me, because I have to be able to see that last child get to be 18. I have to be the parent that God intends for me to be, and that is raising up a child in the way that they should go. Now that last child in a year and a half, in a year and a half will be turning 18, am I afraid that I'll die? One, I'm not afraid to die, but two, I'm afraid that all of the things that I am supposed to accomplish in this time will not be accomplished. What do we do? What do I do? What do you do when that piece or part or pattern of the change comes and you have to answer for that? Let's take a break here. That you were just listening to is a compilation of music by Dana Marie. You can go to the website www.danamarie.info and purchase her sample CD, which includes that piece of music. So we're back. I am Dana Neal. We are back with the Real Reality Radio Show with Dana Neal, and we're talking about what will change do for you. So the first segment basically ended with, that particular change that I'm referring to in my life, and how does that affect, how do the people around us in those particular instances of change decide, or not just decide, but move forward in that particular change when you know, one, you've asked for something, and two, you may not be fulfilling your purpose. Are you ready to understand that? Are we ready? So, according to the studio audience, we are ready and we are connected to be ready. So let us go forth in that. I have to say for myself that I am ready because I know continuously, one, as I do these radio shows every week, as I write my blog, as I create products, as I meet people, as I minister on a day-to-day basis, I am ready to do what is necessary to continue to going forth because I am doing what I need to do to fulfill the processes for the process in the purpose. Now, every day, and all of you know that recently I left corporate America. So every day since last year, December 20th, 2013, I have been working towards something, whether I was in training for real estate, training for building my coaching business, meeting people in a place that I probably never would have met people. If I am visiting different properties to see what I can and cannot do, if I can discuss with, or I am a distributor for Avon, if I've gone out and I've handed out catalogs, or I've been working on a project for the past 3 months that I'm finally in a place where I'm actually writing up this project. Okay, I'm in that place every day. In that place, I'm learning. Now, I have to be honest. Some people will come to the home office or they'll go to the coffee shop and they'll see me and I'm having a conversation, or I'm working on the computer and I'm on Facebook, or I'm on Google Plus, or I'm on whatever, and they think I'm just being nothing, not doing anything, being slowful. But I'm not. I'm actually working. See, as a ministry leader, we have to be in tune to the people around us. And being in tune to the people around us may be the people that we may not see all the time, but we interact with on social networks. As God says for me to share certain messages, I have to share those messages. That may be on any social network, that may be writing a blog, that may be finishing a book. I have to do that. Sometimes there's a mix-up in my day, or the schedule is thrown off, and I might, have to babysit my grandchildren because maybe they're sick, they can't go to daycare, or maybe it's just grandma time. I don't know. But sometimes these things happen. The other part of that is when I know that I have to sit back and not do too much. I literally have to sit back and not do too much. That's why I try to tell people, if we realize that on the seventh day, that seventh day is Sabbath, we don't know if Sabbath was any day between Monday and Friday, or if it was Saturday or Sunday. We don't know. It just seems to fall that way because somebody decided that Saturday and Sunday would be the weekend. And so on Saturday and Sunday, when normal people are not working, quote unquote, then Saturday would be Sabbath or Sunday would be Sabbath. It's the day of fellowship with the Lord, getting in tune, not doing any work. Let's say that, because actually Sabbath day is said to keep it holy and not do work. Let you ponder that for a second. So I said all that to say what? Yesterday was a change in my day. I could not focus. I went to the office to work on my project that I'm working on. I could not get on the internet. Couldn't understand why I couldn't get on the internet. I called the internet service. 75 people that have that internet service in my area, 65 of them didn't have service, and they couldn't understand why. And I was wondering, why am I the first person to call and contact you? Then I realized once we got the internet issue resolved, I couldn't think. My mind had so much going on. I couldn't put any pieces together to finish part 3 of my project. So then I was wondering, what in the world is happening? So, the Lord put on my spirit a lot of different things. Okay, Dana, what does that have to do with change? It has to do with what I normally do on a day-to-day basis after prayer could not be done. because God had a different set of instructions for me, which was really just clean the house, wash the clothes, sit still, hear from me, connect in my word, make some notes, talk with some people. Someone I hadn't talked to in months, I needed to talk to yesterday. And I praise God that I talked to them, because if I hadn't talked to them, I wouldn't have been able to make the notes that I needed to make for part 3 of the project that I'll be working on today. There always comes a time where there will be a change, and you will have to move in the change in order for it to change you, change your circumstances, change the people around you, and change the things that needs to be done. What change will do for you is catapult you into something new, into something greater, into something more beneficial for all of those that are connected to you or those that are watching you. See, change has to do with what people perceive, how you'll be, and what you'll do. Now, it's going to be hard to get started, but unless you get started, you'll never know. So are you ready for that particular piece of change? Are you ready to step out into something that you don't understand in order to fulfill what needs to be done? See, the real reality of this is that whether you're saved or not, everything around you is spiritual. Whether you're saved or not, you know the Lord. Whether you're saved or not, even though you may not have a relationship with the Lord, you realize that there are some things around you that need to be done, that have to be done, and it's going to require change. All those things that you did yesterday or even this morning are going to have to be done differently. Are you ready for that? Are you ready for all of what is necessary for you? Let's take a break. That again is Dana Marie, and you've heard that in the past couple of weeks. Another compilation of music. Please go over to www.danamarie.info and get order your copy of the sample CD. So now we are at the last part of our show, the Real Reality Show, the Real Reality Radio Show with Dana Neal, and we're talking about what will change do for you. And the last part, basically, we're going to just kind of reflect on, are you ready for that? Can we answer that question? Are you ready for that? One thing I guess I would have to say, using myself as an example, and plus we don't have any callers or anybody in the chat room, is, and I think I said that in the second segment, I am ready. I'm ready for that bit of change. Now, at my age, at my life, and in my position right now as a ministry leader, business owner, mom, wife, whatever, that next step of change I am anticipating. I'm anticipating it because I know it'll bring growth. I'm anticipating it because I know that it will bring prosperity and wealth in more ways than just money. I am anticipating that because I know what my obedience to what I've been called to do will bring for me. I have learned that in change not to complain, because complaining will not help us. I have also learned that in that change, that despite the circumstances around me, that I cannot dwell on those circumstances, because change is coming. Change is imminent. I know that as the person that I am, that in all that I desire to do, and all the things that I want, and all the things that I want to provide for others, that in that change, I know that things will be different, because change is imminent. I'm ready for that. You have to ask yourself, are you ready for that change? Are you ready to get married? Are you ready to divorce? Are you ready to change jobs? Are you ready to have children? Are you ready to let your adult children go? Are you ready to start that business? Are you ready to close that business? Are you ready to move to a different state? Are you ready to move to a different house, a new location? Are you ready to change your title, your title in ministry? Are you ready to be an apostle, a pastor, a teacher, an evangelist, a prophet? Are you ready to be any of that? Are you ready for what the change will do for you? You have to be able to honestly say, yes, I'm ready. And then you have to decide, why am I ready? You're ready because you know what that end result is going to be. I said in the beginning of the program that my end result is heaven. That's where I know I want to be. That's where I know I want to end up. Hell is not a place that I want to go. It's not going to be comfortable for me. It's not going to be lined with gold roads. It's not going to have pearly gates. It's not going to have good climate. It's going to be hot as fire. And I'm not ready to go there. That is not where I want to be. I want to be in heaven. So that's where I know my end result is going to be. And I know you're asking yourself, well, Dana, what does that have to do with the Real Reality Radio Show? Okay, well, it has to do with being able to be honest without throwing scripture at you constantly. It has to be able to be clear and precise, knowing that my walk is real. It has to be included in the Real Reality Radio Show, because unless you understand that spiritual combines with natural on a day-to-day basis, even while you're sleeping, you'll never know. So in the Real Reality Radio Show with Dana Neal, I have to be the one to be able to share that with you, because God put it in my place to share that with you. Now, other people might share it in a different way, but I am thankful that those people are sharing it in that particular way. So again, I want you to think about and question, what will change do for you? What will you be ready for? Will you be ready for all of that, what change will bring to your life, where it will take you, where it will take the people that are around you, where it will put you, or you know what, let us say this, who will it put you in front of? Change is vital. Change is important to your life, just like change is important to mine. What will change do for you will be, let's say this, and this is something I think we can really sum it up. When you realize what change is and how important it is, how you react to the change will be what change will do for you. It is so vital that you know that for yourself, and that you do what is necessary for yourself. And I really want you to take this not with a grain of salt, but take this with the understanding of that next level, that next step, that process, and that purpose. No matter what the change is, respond to it positively and know that it's going to move you to greater, because you are great. You are who you are, and I'm happy for you. So with that, this has been the Real Reality Radio Show with Dana Neal. I want you to go over and go over to CoachDana.biz and listen to, actually read the blog. Okay, read the blog. We'll add this program to the blog for next week. And then I actually want you to also read, go over to www.baduniversity.com, because we are there offering programs, offering insights, and offering help. Thank you so much.